Presidential candidate John Delaney says some Democrats are cheering on a recession to stick it to Trump. John, do you watch my videos? Because I gotta say, that's exactly how I feel. I made a video about this talking about, well, I've ranted about Bill Maher on this issue, but I want to expand on this idea. John, it's not just that some Democrats are cheering on a recession. Like, I would consider Bill Maher, I would say he's a Democrat. I mean, he's not a politician, but you know, he's a Democratic voter, supporter, absolutely cheering on a recession. And it's mind-blowing because that's going to hurt poor people. That's the opposite of what we should be trying to do. The Democratic Party should be helping poor people at all costs, not cheering for a recession because the orange man is bad. So I'm glad you got someone like Delaney calling it out. I mean, isn't he like John's like a moderate type, so I'm not surprised. But let me ask you this. Why is there any news about a recession? I'll give you a second. Just wait a second. Okay, now, have you thought about it? Why? There's no recession. Nothing's happening. But I'm seeing it everywhere. Oh, we know why. Two things can happen. If you keep saying a recession will come, they're hoping it does. Because that's what they need to beat Trump. Because policy won't do it. They can't convince his base. They can't convince moderates. They've gone nuts. So they're like, I don't know, tank the economy. There's no recession coming. At least as far as I can tell. But I certainly see these stories. Check this out. How bad would a recession be for Trump in 2020? 8 experts weigh in. An economic slowdown would hurt Trump's re-election chances, but partisanship might soften its impact. I highlight this story to say two things. They're talking about how a recession would impact Trump. Okay, we get it. But why is recession being talked about? The more you talk about it, they're hoping for that self-fulfilling prophecy. They want people to get scared, so they start selling, right? And then the more people who sell, the more people get scared, and they want that run on the banks, the figurative run. They want more people to sell so that the sell results in sell and it results in a recession, which is bad for everybody. Well, let's read what John Delaney has to say, and we'll talk a little bit more about why they keep running stories about a recession. It's annoying because there was like a story like a recession may be looming for this factor, and then all of a sudden everyone's like, we got it, and they wrote 50 million stories about it. So let's jump in. Before we do, head over to timcast.com/donate if you would like to support my work. There's a PayPal option, a crypto option, a physical address, but of course, you can just share this video. It's the best way to help me overcome YouTube's de-ranking of independent political commentary. But let's read. Newsweek reports, 2020 presidential hopeful John Delaney accused his fellow Democrats of cheering on a recession in order to stick it to President Donald Trump, who has continued to claim his economy is the best ever, even as experts warn of impending decline. Delaney was campaigning in Altoona, Iowa on Wednesday, when he was asked by reporters if he thought a recession was likely. Financial experts and market indicators have recently signaled that an economic downturn may be coming sooner rather than later. I hope it's not. You know, it feels like some Democrats are cheering on a recession because they want to stick it to Trump. CNN reporter DJ Judd immediately pushed Delaney on his accusation, asking him which Democratic candidates in particular are celebrating a possible recession. I'm not going to name names, but you just get a sense, Delaney responded. My position, if very clear, is very clear, which is I hope a recession doesn't happen. I believe Trump's economic policies in many ways are fraudulent, right? He gave us sugar high in spending. And tax cuts. He didn't make good investments, and he got us in a trade war. So I believe that's going to end very badly. Let me stop. I'm not a politician, not an economist. I can't really argue if he's right or wrong. In my opinion, though, when you're looking at someone like me who is a moderate voter and others, I hear that, and the first thing I think is, I have no idea, man. All I know is the economy is a lot better, and labor participation is really, really high. Unemployment in all demographics is down across the board for women, for the black community, for Latinos. You can tell me it's a sugar high, but if you saying it's a sugar high and Trump saying it's his policies, the only thing I have to go on is Trump is the president. The economy has improved. I don't know anything else. Now, by all means, if you think I'm wrong, if you know I'm wrong, comment and let me know why. But I'm not trying to tell you I'm right. I'm trying to tell you a moderate voter is going to hear that and think, I don't know, man. You're claiming the economy is bad when it's good. You know what I mean? You're claiming Trump has done something wrong when the economy is good. If the economy was bad, I'd be listening and saying, tell me why it's bad, but it's not. So if Trump says, here's a good economy and here's why, what am I don't know what to do. I'm not an economist. I didn't go to school for economy or anything like that. So all I know is you have your opinion on it. Unfortunately, your opinion isn't backed up by anything tangible. Economy's great. I don't know how you argue it. They said the congressman, but at least I will absolutely credit to Delaney for saying, I hope it doesn't happen. absolutely spot on, correct response. If he believes Trump's it's a sugar high, you know, is that what he called it, a sugar high? If that's what he believes, you can have your opinion, man. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I don't know better. But I really do respect and appreciate you calling these people out who are cheering for a recession. That's just going to bring more suffering. That's the last thing any of us should want. So much respect, much respect. See, they're good Democrats. They can be wrong on policy. I'm talking to conservatives on this one. But there are people who know it's insane to cheer for a recession. Come on. It seems like Delaney's stance here is, I don't want a recession to happen, and I'm worried Trump's policies may lead to that, but let's hope it's not true. It sounds like, in the end, it's a principled position where he's worried about the American people. I believe it. I don't believe people, well, actually, no, I believe Bill Maher. I believe him when he says, I want a recession, bring it on. It's like, dude, are you joking? But I can't imagine you actually care about the American people if you would say something like that. I cannot believe you actually care about policy. I believe you just don't like the orange man. What Delaney said here may be wrong, I don't know, but it sounds like his concern is for the American people and not whether or not he can beat the orange man. It's so frustrating. But I appreciate this. While I don't necessarily disagree, I just don't know better, I would say that's kind of what I would like to hear. Tell me why. Tell me why, and I'm listening. And when the first thing he says to me is, we don't want a recession, I say, I agree. And then he says, the thing is, we've got spending and tax cuts. It's not going to last that long, and we're in a trade war. That's going to end badly. And I go, interesting. I don't know enough to refute that, but I am listening. You've said some things. You've pointed to some specifics, tax cuts, spending, trade war. I understand those concepts to a bit. So now you've got my attention. This is what we need from our Democratic leadership. Do I think Delaney can beat Trump? I really don't. I really don't. I'm not trying to be a dick. I actually respect how Delaney's approach to this. This is kind of what I've been asking for. Now, letting you know, as a moderate, I can't tell you those things. That's true. But I appreciate you saying, listen, this is why. And now what you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start reading about it. I'm going to go. I thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. If only we can get more people to say, hey, poor people need help, right? They act like they care about poor people. They don't. I'm digging this article and I'm digging this statement from Delaney, though I really don't think he'll win. I don't think the Democrats have anybody, but at least there's someone I can find, you know, presenting a respectable statement. He's also come out and criticized the Green, I think it was Delaney who said this, the Green New Deal has a bunch of stuff in it that's nothing to do with the environment. I'm like, thank you. I like this guy, right? Again, I don't think he can win, but I'm not saying it to be mean. I just think Trump is, there's an X factor, you know? And a lot of people have said it like you can see it. Admittedly, nobody thought Trump had it, but, you know, Ann Coulter called it out. Trump does have that I don't know, gravitas. Just you can. He's an imposing figure. He stands there, and his whatever you want to call it, charisma. I don't think charisma is the right word because it's some kind of, you know, something exudes from him that puts pressure on other people. It's a force. So whether you like how he uses it or not, the point is you can see that in Trump. I don't see that in Delaney, but I do see some principle and some respectable statements. CNN's Judd continued to question Delaney on his allegation that Democrats are welcoming a recession in order to take down Trump in the general election. Delaney repeatedly avoided the question. Oh, come on, man. I'm sorry, but just to bear down, you think members of the Democratic Party are actively hoping for a recession? I didn't say that, Delaney claimed. He added that it's very important that the Democratic Party be very clear that they do not want a recession, even if it would be good politics. The White House has continually downplayed growing concerns about a potential... Growing concerns from who? The media? Yeah, the media who doesn't want him to win. Larry Kudlow, the Trump administration's chief economic advisor, told NBC that he doesn't see a recession happening and the country is doing pretty darn well. In my judgment, that's all I know, man. I've seen the numbers. I'm not doing a deep dive into economy textbooks and meeting with all these economists to talk about what the potentials for the future are. What I do know is Trump's staff and his administration have said we're doing this. Things have improved. I don't know if it's good or bad. I'm not saying Trump is doing the right thing. I hear Delaney, and I just think all I know is, hey, man, if the economy is doing well, how do you convince a moderate to abandon Trump in 2020? Look, you can come to him and say, the economy is only doing well because Trump cast a spell and sold his soul to Satan. It's like, I don't care what you say, dude. All I know is moderates are going to say, keep on keeping on. Don't change it if it's good. And you know what? Delaney might be right. Trump may be giving us a sugar high and there may be a crash, but that's not, I don't see how you get moderates, you know, or voters in general past that hump where they're going to say they know for sure. They mentioned that Trump has brushed off concerns. I'll just talk about this a little bit, but But I've seen a ton of stories talking about the recession and the downplaying the recession and the potential recession. And what they're doing now is they're making recession stories that have nothing to do with the experts. Like this one. How bad would a recession be for Trump in 2020? 8 experts weigh in. I don't care. Is it possible we're going to have a recession? I don't know. They take that one story and then they turn it into 50 stories, so the word recession hits the news over and over and over again and starts scaring people. I think that will backfire because everything they've done has backfired. I don't think it's going to work out the way they think it will. I think it's going to be bad for them because you're scaring people. And when people are scared, they vote Republican. So I don't know if they're scared of, I don't know how economics plays, but when people have a fear, I could be wrong about this. Fact check me. I remember reading a study, multiple ones, talking about when people are scared about, impending doom, they reach out to authoritarianism. So the study, I should state, they reach out to strong figures is a better way to put it, right? I don't want to play a political game over Trump and other. The point is they look for strong figures if they're scared. If you keep saying it's coming for you, it's coming, they don't find strength in the Democrats. At least that's not what I see. They see Trump, and you can call Trump all of the names in the book. You can call him a bully, and that's strength to people. There are people who look at Trump and say, he may be a bully, but he's bullying people for me. And you know what? You can choose not to like that. That's fine. Maybe you don't like it. Maybe you find it gross. But the point is, when people get scared, they look to someone who's tough. And Trump may be boisterous and boorish, but that's a sign of strength to a lot of people. I'll leave it there. Stick around. One more segment coming up in a few moments. I will see you shortly.